One such agent was John Ellis, a Scotsman, who was the agent of the local landlord, John Trant of Vdeo. Ellis lived in Kilrush House. Surrounded by iron railings, with steps leading down to an underground grave with whitewashed walls, one finds one of the most unusual tombs in Ireland. On the 22nd of October 1858, a landlord's agent, John Ellis, was murdered near Vdeo. Ellis was a cruel and ruthless man who showed no mercy to the tenants of his master's estate south of the village. The men of the estate held many secret meetings to decide what they were going to do about Ellis. Eventually, he did get what he deserved, a load of buckshot. Fearing more attacks on landlords and their agents, the police and soldiers searched the countryside for the killer. They threatened the tenants, and they offered rewards for information, but nobody would betray the gunman. They were desperate to convict somebody, guilty or innocent, for the murder. They arrested Daniel and William McCormack and took them to Nina jail, where they were put on trial. Fictitious evidence against the two boys was bought and well paid for by the police and the landlords. Evidence proving their innocence was brought before the court but made no difference. They were sentenced to be hanged. Archbishop Leahy wrote to the Lord Lieutenant, telling him that he had positive proof of their innocence, but to no avail. Daniel and Lee McCormack were hanged in Nina on the 11th of May, 1858. The younger of the two boys lost all control when he saw the gallows on the morning of the hanging. A priest who visited him calmed him down. He asked the boy to look into his hat, which he held in his hand, and whatever he saw there calmed him immediately. There was a storm that day, the 11th of May, the likes of which had never before been recorded. A song was composed to commemorate the Cormack Brothers. John Ellis was buried in St. Michael's Church in Vdeo. This church was built by Colonel Fitzroy Trant, but actually never completed, the cross never having been put in position. Now a research centre for cattle breeding, was once the home of the Trant family, landlords of Vdeo.
In the year of 58, my boys, that was a troublesome time, when foreign cruel eviction was spreading through our isle. Bad landlords and their agents were the rulers in our land. 'Twas then that Ellis was shut down by some unknown hand. The news spread through Killara, Trant's agent he was shot. The police were soon informed and assembled on the spot. They searched every field and garden, every lane and every shed, until they came to McCormack's house, where those two boys were in bed. They accused those boys of murder from information they had got from the coachman that was driving at the time that Ellis was shot. They said that they were innocent, but it was of no avail. They were handcuffed and made prisoner, and conveyed to Nina jail. At the spring assizes those two boys stood their trial in Nina town, and by a well-packed jury of Orange men they were guilty found. The judge addressed those prisoners. He asked them what they had to say before he signed their executions for the 11th day of May. Killara we were reared between Thurles and Templemore, well known to all the inhabitants round the parish of Loughmore. We're as innocent of the shooting of Ellis as the child in its cradle do lie, and we cannot see for another man's deed while we are condemned to die. On the 11th of May in 58, the hangings they took place, and by a holy monk they were reconciled, their Maker for to face. Such thunder, rain, and lightning has not been witnessed since, as the Lord sent down upon that day as a token of their innocence. Now to conclude and finish, let all good Christians pray for the Cormack Brothers whose bones lie mouldering in the clay. May the Lord have mercy on those boys, alas, they are no more. Their souls may rest in heaven above, but their remains rest in Loughmore.